Hey, Chris Liepe here with Jonny Hawkins, Nothing More, This Is the Time. I've wanted to talk about Jonny for quite a while on the channel, and this is the time, sorry. I've had a recent uptick in requests for a video on Jonny. Part of what I love about his story is how he started as a drummer, how he overcame some major fears and told himself initially, I'm not a singer, has developed one of the greatest rock voices out there right now. I mean, it's incredible. It's all for the love. Aggressive and textured and emotive. So awesome. Here's a little clip of him talking about overcoming his fear of singing.
7th grade is when I met Dan and Mark, so it wasn't until I was about 21 that I finally got the guts to just step up and do it. A lot of fears were holding me back before then. I had a formative experience when I was in like 1st grade, and I had to be like 6 years old, and I tried out for the choir in school, and I was like one of 2 kids that didn't make it, and it was a small school, so there was only like 15 kids in my class. So from that point on, I was kind of like, just had this idea in my head that, okay, I'm not a singer, but I'll try drums. I love music, so I'll try other things. And then another experience happened where my mother put me in a commercial audition because I really liked acting, and just froze up, bombed. I had all these adults like yelling at me, and I couldn't see anyone because it was all dark and the lights were on me, and I'll still remember it to this day. But those 2 experiences together kind of just gave me this feeling of like an impenetrable wall of fear. I finally just said, you know what, fuck it, I can go to my grave because of this fear and never having tried. And I felt like the only thing between me and a career in music was a singer, because that was our biggest thing holding us back. So I was like, well, I need to at least try. And so I gave myself like 2 years, and it was a very awkward, uncomfortable 2 years, and then the rest is history.
Such a cool story. I've left a link to that full interview in the video description below. Also, if you'd like more help with your own voice, click the other link and join my free voice course. I can help you with things like overcoming fear, developing the confidence and the necessary techniques for developing a great voice that's uniquely you. All right, let's get into this. We got to talk about this right off the bat. He's got a naturally higher voice, but he's getting really here. Even though he starts in his general tone, when did we become these sinking stones? It's got that thinner approach, and then you can see his drops his larynx, brings the resonance back. Become to adding compression, holding back air, lifting something heavy. He's lower when he does this. It's not like he gets grittier and grittier, and as he goes higher, he cleans up a lot of the time as he goes higher. Such a cool sound, and really fun to experiment with. The other thing to keep in mind is how you let your voice break apart, not just push more and more into it. If you're just pushing harder and harder, broken home, it starts to sound kind of constipated sounding. But if you let your voice fall apart and invoke your vocal break while you're pushing, broken home, broken home, there's a whole other world. And you can contrast that with the Do you hear how broken up Throats was? It's not just this push. Throats! Throats! Throat! That crack that I just did is showing myself and you, how that approach, and it's okay as you're dialing this in to have this crack, but if you don't allow yourself to find that vulnerability in your voice, you won't be able to get this insane with it. Okay, I'll back this up a little bit so we can get that full entrance into the chorus here. The way he enunciates is really, really awesome. It's a character in and of itself. I'm going to talk like this and sort of over-enunciate. It's theatrical in some ways. It's voice actor-ish. And I really resonate with vocalists that have almost a singing diction about them. You watched him talk, and this wasn't present. But with those harmonies layered in behind, and the way he's got that kind of over-enunciated sort of thing that's in combination with his higher chesty range, it really creates a pleasant sound and a really neat joining to his more aggressive stuff. All right, chorus. Epic chorus. I want to play it again. So do you notice that little crack on "Let It Go"? Where it's much faster than that, but he abandons into this very subtle head voice thing that happens up there. This shows you how light he is. If I'm going really hard up there, you might hear a little bit of a pitch up there, but he gets there so light that it makes this melody so soaring and wonderful. There's more of that coming. Listen to words. The words that will take your soul. It's so thin just for a minute as he goes up and these are the words. He's in a very subtle head voice and then joining it to his mix and then to his chest. This is really subtle and it's difficult to do, but it bears mentioning. He's not just chesting it up. He's a miraculously tenor voice who understands how to access these different resonances and make them work for him. That's that aspect of his thin, higher voice being grounded in other notes. It's awesome. Crack again there. Eyes will. And then going into head voice there. All right. Amazing chorus. And he does some neat stuff later on too. So that time he did the later, but he had this where he broke up a little bit when he's higher too, while maintaining that thinness. That's really something. Okay, now listen to this subtle, different ornamentations that happen in this chorus. Those little cracks. Practice that in whatever range. Abandon into your head voice. Choose a phrase. Open your eyes. This is a huge tool to connect a thinner, higher voice to the rest of your voice, but it's also a great way to emote while you're singing. It exposes a bit of vulnerability because you're not just rah, 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 over and over again. He does this so well. I absolutely love the harmony buildups. And like I said, the production is so tasteful, subtle, yet not simple. This chorus is absolutely amazing. That little bit of grit up there. We've heard him thin up there, but then he's able to have enough control over his compression and his range to push up to that note and have it be just the perfect tone. He's also got a naturally high voice, which is really awesome. So that blend, that bridge between his chest and his mixed voice, it's so seamless that it gives you shivers when you hear it up there. Incredible. Okay, this is the pain we're forced. Notice how it wasn't even a matter of a lot of compression there, but he's like spitting out those, this is the pain and force. He's borderline head voice, a really, really thin mix. In perfect contrast to the last phrase, right? He can go really big high, or he can lighten up high. He can go really big low, or he can lighten up low. It's this sort of tonal and dynamic diversity that makes him one of my favorite singers right now. It's so interesting, all the different ways he approaches notes. Even how he rode that last note there. So, and let it break up towards the end, right? Starting clean and then let it fall apart just a little bit. Really, really fun to experiment with in your own voice. But the way he executes is just unparalleled. It's another one. The perfect amount of grit. Walking blind! Being able to bring that subtle grit in and out so that it almost softens the voice a little bit. And he's really good at being softer and more tender with his thinner mix and then adding just enough over the top, enough grit over the top so that it simultaneously becomes more aggressive, but almost a bit comforting in the way he deals with his tone. I hope you've enjoyed this breakdown and analysis of Jonny Hawkins' voice. Again, one of my favorite vocalists right now. Can't get enough of their music. Leave suggestions, other videos or artists you'd like to see me do. It's because of you guys that these videos get made, and it's really fun for me because I end up discovering artists and really getting into artists because of these suggestions. So, win-win-win. Again, if you'd like more help with your own voice, click that link below and join my free course. We'll see you for more.